Hi there, I'm Stuart Gibbs, and I'm the author of my new book, Spy School Project X, which is the 10th book in the Spy School series. And I'm very, very excited about this. I'm very excited that the Spy School series has gotten to 10 books. That's kind of beyond my wildest dreams. I'm going to share with you, I'm going to read a little bit of this book to you right now. I'm not going to start right at the beginning. I'm going to start just a little bit into the first chapter. In this right now, Ben Ripley, our hero, has been called to the principal's office at Spy School, which he's a little bit worried about, as any one of us would be if we got called to the principal's office. He's with his good friend Zoe, and he's late. He's late. One of his tests has run behind, so Ben is already very concerned about this. And here we go. The principal was coming across the quad toward me. It was easy to see him approaching, as all the other students were giving him a wide berth. He looked even angrier than usual, so everyone was behaving as though he was radioactive, hurrying out of his path. In addition, the principal hadn't bothered to put his toupee on properly. Even on good days, his hairpiece looked like a mangy badger camped out on his head, but today it seemed he'd forgotten it even existed, so it was completely askew, leaving a good portion of his bald, sweaty brow gleaming in the sunlight. "You!" he exclaimed upon seeing me, and then pointed a thick, meaty finger my way. "You have a lot of nerve, Ripley." All around the quad, I noticed my fellow students experiencing dual emotions: genuine concern for my well-being, and relief that the principal wasn't angry at them. While I had feared the principal would be upset at me for being late to the meeting, the level of fury in his eyes was far greater than I had expected. Still, I did my best to explain as he approached. "Sir, I'm very sorry that I kept you waiting. My exam in self-preservation went long." "That's true," Zoe added, even though she knew this was risking the anger of the principal. "You can ask Professor Crandall yourself. He's right over there." She pointed back to the gymnasium. Crandall had just exited the building, although he seemed preoccupied, clutching a kosher pickle with bemusement. I suspected he had recently discovered it in another one of his pockets. "What are you even talking about?" the principal snapped at me. "I'm not angry about you being late. I'm angry about this." He thrust a handwritten note into my face. It read, "To the principal, you are a jerk, a buffoon, a numbskull, a dolt, and a fathead. Also, you smell like a diseased pustule on the butt of a wildebeest. I'll be in the quad if you'd like to discuss this further. Sincerely, Ben Ripley." Now, many things were strange about this letter, but the most startling to me was that it was in my own handwriting. If I had known better, I would have believed that I had actually written it myself. "This was wrapped around a rock and thrown into my office 5 minutes ago," the principal proclaimed. It usually would have been quite difficult to throw a rock into the principal's office, as it was on the top floor of the Nathan Hale building, 5 stories above the quad. However, the exterior wall of the office was currently missing, having been demolished the previous September by an errant mortar round. I was the one who had fired it, although it wasn't really my fault. Still, the principal remained annoyed at me for it, which was compounded by the fact that red tape had prevented any repairs from getting done, leaving a gaping hole in the building for the entire school year. But while this made it possible for someone to throw a rock into his office, it still wouldn't have been easy. If I had tried to do it, I probably would have missed the 5th floor entirely and put a rock through one of the lower level windows instead. "I checked our handwriting database," the principal continued indignantly. "This is your handwriting, isn't it?" Yes, I admitted, but someone must have forged it. Why would I write something like that? "Because you're an insolent little pipsqueak," the principal shouted. "I have half a mind to boot you out of this school." "You only have half a mind, period," Zoe muttered under her breath, too low for him to hear. "This doesn't make any sense," I said to the principal. "I was coming to see you for our meeting, so I wouldn't have—" "What meeting?" the principal demanded. "I didn't schedule any meeting with you today." I took a step back, confused. "You didn't send me a message about it yesterday?" "Absolutely not. And if I was going to meet with you, it certainly wouldn't be in my office." "Why not?" "Because you destroyed my office." "That wasn't Ben's fault," Zoe began. The principal ignored her and kept glaring at me. "Because of you, I've spent the last 8 months working at a desk made out of 2 sawhorses and a piece of plywood. But I was finally able to requisition a real desk. It was delivered yesterday, and it's beautiful. It's big, expensive, and expertly crafted, and I'm not letting you anywhere near it. Ripley, you're a menace. If you go anywhere near that desk, I'm sure it would catch fire or explode or get eaten by a shark. I think that's all highly unlikely, I said. I don't, the principal declared. Not only are you insubordinate, you're a walking disaster area. That's not true, I insisted. At which point, the principal's office exploded. So that is the end of chapter 1 there, Spy School Project X. I hope that you enjoyed that and that you're excited to read this book. I worked really hard on it. In fact, heck, read the entire Spy School series. I hear it's a lot of fun. So thanks for paying attention and keep on reading.